course, an Impact superstar, Impact Wrestling, as well as back when it was called TNA. She's been around for quite some time. She knows some tricks. And
17 years in the business, which kind of just highlights how young she got started and how early she started building that experience up. Jody Threat on the lighter end in terms of years of experience, but on quite a run lately.
She's been making up for the experience difference by getting those reps in and making sure that she's wrestling everywhere she can, anyone she can. And this is going to be a very interesting contrast where Taylor Wilde's got a little bit more of a methodical style to her, and Jody Threat is literally chaos in boots. So
yes, she would like to hit hard and hit often and hit as much as both competitors could take. This is a bit of an interesting thing anytime you watch a Jody Threat match. She seems to get a kick out of being on the wrong side of things nearly as much as on the right side of things.
Well, and sometimes you see, there's different strategies that can be taken by pro wrestlers. You try to get the last big move in, or you try to out-wrestle each other. I feel like these two are just going to punch each other in the face until someone can't get up anymore. That
seems pretty likely. We do see, though, at the start here, a little bit of mind game playing for Taylor Wilde. She knows the crowd isn't on her side. And seems to be playing into that a little bit here.
Taylor Wilde definitely playing the head games, but I don't know if it's going to work on Jody Threat because I don't know what's exactly going on up there, and I'm scared to find out.
Yeah, you can put whatever you want in someone else's head, and then it doesn't really matter if they knock you upside yours.
Now we've got a test of strength here, and this is going to be very much a leverage situation. Two lighter competitors, and Jody Threat doesn't want those shoulders on the mat, so they're not going on the mat.
They're not going on the mat, but quite the bend in the lower half there where, the strength and that pop you need from your legs is almost like leg kicks in a kickboxing match. You're going to need that explosiveness a little later, so you can wear each other down here beyond just the finger pain if you ever did this with your younger sibling.
Now we've got a bit of a stalemate here as I guess we call that an arm drag. Speaking of arm drags, Taylor Wilde goes over there and seems to be enjoying it. She's laughing it off, but I'm sure that she doesn't like being embarrassed in front of this raucous AGS 9 crowd. Whoa!
Eats a boot to the mouth there. Jody Threat ducks under, kick to the stomach, and then fires Wilde into the corner, follows with a clothesline. We're starting to see that physicality come out now. The head games have been put aside.
At a certain point, you just need to throw hands and see what happens. Jody Threat is she could do this all night, and Jody Threat has been working on her cardio. Chasing chickens is the last I heard.
Interesting. She catching them?
I don't know where she found the chickens. I don't know what happened to the chickens. I heard she chased chickens.
Huh. It's interesting use of your spare time. Speaking of spare time, as Threat goes for vertical suplex here with a little bit of a delay up top. A lot of bit of delay now.
The strength of Jody Threat as Taylor Wilde is not moving. She could do this all night, I'm telling you, Blake. And she's squatting with her now.
That's a little bit of showing off, but a little bit of getting the blood rushing to Taylor Wilde's head there. She's trying to laugh it off, but you got to think she's trying to get her bearings back about her, too.
That massive delayed vertical suplex, all the blood running to your head. It's very easy to get discombobulated and figure out where you are. But again, Taylor Wilde just laughing this off.
The amount Wilde's laughing here, I'm not sure she came into this match combobulated in the first place.
So then she's on the same level as her opponent, but she needs a second, so she's pulling herself out of the ring there.
Taking a little break here. Jody Threat's going to... Oh, slides after. Wilde gets out of the way. Not having that.
Got a bit of a cat and mouse game here at the rec room as Taylor Wilde taking a little bit of a powder.
Taking a page out of our Smash Women's Champion Nikita's books with just taking a little bit of a rest, eh?
Sure, just hiding. Why not?
I did get a chance to speak with Nikita earlier in the week. Pretty much laid it out, hey, she's better than everyone in Smash Wrestling. She's beaten just about everyone in Smash Wrestling. She did tell me she's keeping an eye on this, but someone's going to have to impress her in these women's matches we have this weekend over AGS 9.
She needs to realize that the Smash Wrestling Championship Committee decides who's impressive, not the Smash Wrestling Women's Champion.
I mean, you saw the video earlier. You take the martini glass from her and you tell her that.
Now, Jody Threat is in trouble here. We're at 9. She's in the ring, though. Okay, the referee stops his count. She took a drop toe hold, Jody Threat did, on the stage from Taylor Wilde, and Taylor Wilde throwing that boot in there. Oh, and 2 knees right to the back there, and Jody Threat hanging by her boots.
Nearly hung up by her feet there in the top rope. Falls out of it. Not sure that's going to help her a ton here as Taylor Wilde continues to go to work.
This could be it. No, it's going to take more than that. You need to get across the shoulders of Jody Threat. She's got very powerful legs, so just laying on the stomach and hooking the legs, not going to get the pin done.
Back to the rope work here from Taylor Wilde, choking Jody Threat across that middle rope there, using the full 5 count from the referee.
And that is a seasoned veteran maneuver, as you know the cadence of the referee's count by this point in the match. You know when that 4 is about to turn into a 5, and you abuse that. Oh, she almost got to 5 on that one, though. She's got to be a little more careful.
Basically daring him to count to 5 at that point.
Imagine being the referee that disqualified Taylor Wilde.
We saw what happened a little earlier in the night when people pushed the referees a little too far. Not sure we're going to see that in this one here. But Taylor Wilde, all 3 of the 4 sides of the ring so far, using the full 5 count.
So the problem with Taylor Wilde here is that she's spending more time now with the referee than she is on someone who is, I mean, the definition of a whirling dervish in Jody Threat. You take your eyes off Jody Threat for too long and she's going to hurt you.
Yeah, that's a power keg of momentum there if Jody Threat gets even an inch here to turn the tide.
Massive vertical suplex though, and Taylor Wilde hangs on. So we saw the delayed suplex from Jody Threat earlier, and now
into a front head and arm choke.
Now the referee needs to be careful with this to make sure that it doesn't turn into a windpipe choke. Blood chokes are legal, but if that forearm goes across the windpipe, that is an illegal hold.
Interesting to see Wilde using a little bit of submission grappling, a little bit of MMA to her style there, because that's something that would play very well against our women's champion, Nikita.
Taylor Wilde though, just dragging her nails across Jody Threat's back. Then she checked under her fingernails. My goodness.
Wilde evading the corner attack there, and now has got Jody Threat by the hair. Smashed her head first into the turnbuckle.
Credit to Taylor Wilde as well, because it's very easy to get overwhelmed by Jody Threat. She's a lot. But Taylor Wilde seems to be settling into her pace now, and she's just not letting Jody Threat breathe, which is exactly what you need to do against someone like that. But taking the time to pose, probably not the best strategy.
Ropes, turnbuckles, her legs, front head and arm choke. The strategy here is pretty clear. Make sure Jody Threat can't have that explosive momentum turn. Kicks out at 2 there, though.
Taylor Wilde also adapting here. As you can see, she's leaning further back on her pins, making sure that she's got that weight distributed across the shoulders of Jody Threat.
You mentioned earlier Taylor Wilde coming to us here at Smack from Impact Wrestling. Jody Threat actually trained under Impact Wrestling champion Josh Alexander, who... Oh, now we're seeing a crossface here. There, yeah.
Now, the thing about Jody Threat is that putting her in a submission move is basically daring her to give up, and I don't think Jody Threat's going to do it.
I don't think she would know how. No. Yeah, it's just not in her. We will see, though, can she use that strength to push herself toward the ropes here and get a rope break? Because she is pretty close to the center of the ring. Rolls Wilde over.
No!
Wilde able to flip it right back into that crossface.
Now Jody Threat does have a very strong vertical base. Her legs are very strong, but everyone's the same height and everyone's the same strength when you're lying on the mat.
When you're lying on the mat, and we mentioned Taylor Wilde spent most of the match trying to cut off the airwaves to Jody Threat. That crossface gets right across the nose there. When you're already not breathing well, that's not going to make it any easier, that's for sure.
Taylor Wilde as well, clearly been working on her strikes. She is throwing for the win here. Jody Threat, speaking of throwing for the win, those forearm shivers, insanity. Oh, drop toe hold into the middle rope here. Here comes Jody Threat. Massive double knees into a German suplex.
And this is exactly what we warned about. Jody Threat in an instant, too. Maybe stacked Wilde a little too much there, made it a little too easy to roll over.
That was not a kick out, that was a survival roll, and Taylor Wilde just squeaked out of that one with one shoulder up.
Yeah, and this is where you question Wilde going back to the striking game. She was having a lot of success with the submission and ground-based game. As soon as she got back into the striking game, Jody Threat able to turn the tides.
Now Jody Threat's got her up here. Looks like she was going for a burning hammer, which would have been lights out for Taylor Wilde. Ooh, massive neck breaker. And just like that, Taylor Wilde back in control in this match. Stacks up Jody Threat. 1, 2, oh, almost 3. That was 2.8 there, Blake.
Yeah. If Taylor Wilde hadn't taken the moment there to taunt to the crowd, to light her candles, whatever it is the Wild Witch does as she's channeling what she's doing ahead of this match, could have had a 3 there.
Taylor Wilde going for a German suplex of her own, but you don't German suplex Jody Threat. Jody Threat German suplexes you. And standing switches here. Going for an O'Connor roll, but Jody Threat hangs on. Oh my goodness, massive lariat. Jody Threat is firing on all cylinders here. It's got her up now into an airplane spin. Into a blue thunder bomb out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3, that's it. A well-deserved victory and a hard-fought battle. Take nothing away from the Wild Witch, as that one was hard-fought on both sides.
That's a heck of a move. That inverted airplane spin or torture rack airplane spin into the thunder bomb. That's a pretty innovative one.
Now it feels like Jody Threat, she doesn't even get moving until she's been spinning around a few times. So looking good as we head into Super Showdown. You got to be thinking that Jody Threat has to be a credible contender for Nikita, even though she has lost to her in the past.
Yeah, Nikita's on vacation, but she's going to have to make sure she catches the tape on that one, because Jody Threat comes out of that one looking very impressive.